So the USFL and XFL merger, they aim to offer club franchises for sale within 3 to 4 years. This isn't like super new to us. We know the USFL has been talking about that over the last couple of years with they were hoping by year 4 or 5, which would then be 3 or 4 here in this merged league, that they would look at selling franchises. Remember, there was a rumor about Alex Rodriguez was potentially going to be behind purchasing maybe the New Jersey Generals. That was kind of something out there. So this, and we've also heard about the XFL. I mean, that is the goal for all of this, is to be able to sell these franchises, hopefully in the hundreds of millions of dollars. But that all depends on the next 3 years if it shows growth. That is the key. So the merged XFL and USFL, according to Larry Jones, a former Fox Sports executive vice president and consultant to the network, marks the beginning of a strategic plan to sell franchises in a few years, positioning the merged entity as a major player in the football space. Some key points, of course, we know Fox Sports owned the USFL, Redbird Capital, of course, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Danny Garcia are part of the XFL. Post-merger, the goal is to sell teams and expand equity beyond the existing ownership. So that means that the sell teams, there'll be more people involved in the league and helping the league grow. So lots of rich people will hopefully buy franchises. Distributing channel, Fox looks poised to become the primary distributor, given past affiliations. That's a no-brainer there. Also, and we've had reporting on XFL News Hub about how the channels should be ABC, Fox, and NBC. That's kind of where they're going to go. Everything is not going to be on cable or streaming, because that's where they get the biggest bang for the buck. Live sports on linear TV is a home run. We've seen it on our own website. Anytime it's on Fox or ABC, or anytime it's on linear TV, that's your ABC, Fox, NBC, CBS. We get lots more traffic than when it's on cable, and they know that too. And live sports basically is the only value anymore as this to television networks, and this cable landscape is completely changing. There's rumblings that some of the Disney channels are going to go away, and there's we've got I think some hockey teams that are associated with another local television entity went bankrupt. So there's all sorts of stuff going on, and cable is changing, and the XFL and USFL merger is right in the middle of this thing. Way different than what it was in 2020. That's crazy, when Vince McMahon was there. So in a recent sports management discussion, Sports Business Journal Ben Fisher noted that Larry Jones, consultant, alluded to the future leagues and the plan, of course, for 3 to 4 years to venture out and sell the clubs. This is where I think all of the both leagues see where they're going to make their money back. And they're investing a lot, because we know that football is expensive. So, of course, the September 28th was the decision to merge the league. He also talked about, we know that the regulatory hurdles are coming through. Larry Jones further indicated Fox's intention to be the main distributor of the merged league, which is kind of a no-brainer there. We talked about that. Was the plan, of course, of selling teams. And he emphasized the league intends to go out to sell teams within 3 years, with the potential change of ownership, bringing a new stake. But that's all kind of, we kind of already knew that, but this was kind of the mainstream press picking up on that. That is the plan. So nothing new other than, that they're looking to sell franchises in the next 3 to 4 years, whether they have people lined up. Basically, we're starting over from scratch once again. So if you've been on this journey since 2018, like we have, it's starting over again. All the key parts are in place, and we're just waiting for this regulatory approval so we can see if this merger goes. But hey, you cannot talk about selling franchises in 3 to 4 years if there is no growth. And the way the USFL was trajectorying was they went down, and the XFL was disappointed in their turnout. Also, they thought they were just going to flip the switch and have another 2020 XFL season, and that was not the case. Ratings, it's hard to tell anymore, because that whole system is basically collapsed as far as how rating and tracking ratings, and with streaming, and people's how their behaviors consuming media has kind of changed. But we know that the ticket sales were great for the DC Defenders and St. Louis Battlehawks, as well as a couple other franchises were not as good as 2020. That has nothing to do with the ratings, but just interest, general interest. So they have to merge together in order for them to survive. We thought it was going to happen in 3 or 4 years. They saw their trajectory. Both sides knew that, hey, things were trending down, especially when we go head to head. So let's merge together now. We know this is going to happen. And then let's see if we can lock in going forward. The question is really, when it comes to this merge thing, is what is the NFL's role in this? If we get word that the NFL has some kind of role, which we haven't heard anything, that they have some, because the NFL wanted, didn't know which side to pick. This also makes it easier for the NFL to now work with this new merged league, so whatever it is. But before we can start talking about selling franchises, it is all about growth. How the league does in year 1 and year 2 is really the key factor. We're getting another season of spring football, definitely probably a season 2, because we need to see the growth. If season 2 is not as big as season 1, then there's trouble on the horizon. And can they make it past the goalpost, which is 3 seasons, to do better than the original USFL and the 80s? So we'll see. So make sure